originally like this. And what kind of Sadducees are that? That's what we call them Zadokites. That's why I have the book, Maccabees, Zadokites, Christians, and Qumran, because these Zadokites are not later Sadducees in the Herodian period. Now, when the Romans stormed the temple in 63 BC, we'll see in Josephus that they're really amazed by the priests in the temple. How many got that far? What do the priests do? 63 BC. They go about their sacrifices as if nothing is happening. And they're cut down by the Romans, but Josephus admits, because he's not writing himself, he's writing from sources, he can't lie here, the source is telling us, that they're actually cut down by people of the opposite party, who turn out to be the Pharisees, who are cooperating with the Romans to take the temple from these people. So what I'm trying to tell you is the people who were cut down here and all butchered in the first Roman assault on the temple under Pompey, it's all in your Josephus if you're reading, are these Sadducees who are not yet Hellenized, Herodianized. They're all killed in this period, or go into hiding, or get like the Dead Sea Scrolls. And a new Sadducee group comes in, who I think you have to call Herodian Sadducees. So there's a split in the Sadducee movement that takes place somewhere in the Herodian period. Now, Herod's father, we'll get here in Josephus, will be involved in the Roman takeover of the temple in 63 BC. Then somewhere in the 40s to the 30s, Herod comes to power and supplants the Maccabees. And Herod's father, as Josephus will tell us, is an Idumean Greek, or what we would call an Arab, from his mixed family. His, one side is priests in a temple of Apollo in Gaza, and the other side are Idumeans or Edomites from the city of Petra, the royal line in Petra. And Herod's father is intermediary between these people, what we would call Arabs at that time, not that bad or good, but just what they were, and the Romans, and they will help the Roman takeover of Palestine in 63 BC. And the Pharisees will cooperate with them. So we're getting ahead of ourselves, but I'm trying to tell you how these parties are created. So there's a group of Sadducees before that, and Josephus tells you that Herod never stopped taking vengeance on these people who resisted him and would not give in to him. And he had spies everywhere. People were taken in secret, like John the Baptist, and tortured and beheaded. He was a incipient Saddam Hussein or Joe Stalin or something like that. He was absolutely insane maniac. And not only did he kill everyone who did not agree to his takeover, which are all these previous people, he killed all the Maccabean family. He killed the Maccabeans who cooperated with them. He killed one of the Maccabeans who was married, ultimately forcibly married to him. He killed his own sons by that woman who he had forcibly married. Probably the deal was that her brother should keep the high priesthood. We'll get all that. Her name is first Mary, first Mary, in the 30s. And I'm sure that her killing gave rise to all the Marys you get in the New Testament, because you don't name someone Mary if you don't admire the previous Mary. She's the Maccabean princess that Herod kills. If you've been reading your Josephus, this should be popping up into your mindset. But in addition, he kills her brother, Jonathan, her brother's name was. Another Jonathan named after the Maccabean early progenitors. And I think the deal was that her brother would be high priest if she married Herod. So they would keep the high priesthood in the Maccabean family. But when he became of age, as Josephus tells you, the people all cried when he put the priestly vestments on. Now, that in itself will show you that the Maccabees were the popular priesthood and the popular party, not the Pharisees that rabbinic literature tries to make out, they being the descendants of the Pharisees. No, the Pharisees were promoted by the Romans when they took the temple in 70 AD. And then the Pharisee patriarchs became the Roman tax collectors in Palestine. Fair enough. That was the deal that Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai made with the Roman authorities. That he would get the academy and so on if he recognized Roman power in Palestine. But these other people were not prepared to recognize any foreign power. That's why I'm doing this Eliezer thing. He shows how to make a good death. In any case, this Miriam, or so on, Herod's Maccabean wife, that a lot of Josephus is dedicated to, telling her story and so on. When the people all cry, when he takes the vestments at 12 or 13, I think 13 or so, Herod has his henchmen and bully boys and bodyguards take him down to a pool in Jericho, which he had, I've been to that palace, and drown him. And that's probably the end of the deal. But see, Herod couldn't be a high priest because he was a foreigner. So anyway, the Herodian period begins here in the 63 BC period. We have several foreign depredations on the temple. One in the Maccabean period, which Judas had to deal with. That would be around 163, 167, somewhere in there. Then 63 BC, Pompey. But that isn't the end of it. 37 BC, Herod storms the temple again with Roman troops and takes the people who would not acknowledge him as a king appointed by the Romans. And then finally, 66 to 70 AD, the war against Rome that Josephus outlines for us. The Romans take the temple in 70 AD. So you have 3 Roman storming of the temple. 63 BC, 37 BC, and 66 to 70 CE or AD. Okay? So let's go back to Eliezer. He showed how to make a good death for the holy legislation. These are the people who will not compromise, who will not